What's up, YouTube? My name is Bonanza86, and this is vlog number 3 of 2019. Now, going through my channel, skimming, rather, I noticed that I didn't get to talk about this with you, my subscriber or viewer, or a bit of both. But I have been talking about it, usually in sporadic moments on Facebook Live, or pre-recording myself and then uploading it to my Facebook. So I figured I'd talk about it here. I had a very serious gambling problem 2 years ago, and it hit its peak. And I'm telling you this because, well, obviously I'm human. And another thing I want to note is that the lottery fed me this very crazy, unrealistic dream that I could buy a ticket, hit it big, and then I could just retire off yachts and, mansions and whatnot. So obviously the dream of winning the big one was something that was always ingrained inside my head, to the point where I would have these dreams that I'd buy a particular ticket and I'd hit it big, and then I would wake up and I would buy that ticket and then I would lose. So it seems like I'm rambling, so let's start from the beginning. My choice from a lottery standpoint were scratchers. And I liked scratchers for a very long time, before I could even legally play it. But my parents said that there was absolutely no way they were going to get me into it, because they realized that it could pose a danger mentally to my life. So, when I finally turned 18, and I was considered an adult in the eyes of the law, I could get whatever scratches I wanted, unless, since I had the money. So, I started small. I would get $1 and $2 scratchers. Sometimes I would break even, sometimes I would profit, but most of the time I would lose. And I don't think I had realized I had a problem, because I would play, but I would never ever break the bank. So I would never ever play like those big tickets, because I didn't want to risk losing all my money. But at the same time, if I'm always going to be playing $1, $2, $3 tickets, hell, $5 tickets, cumulatively it adds up to a $10 or a $20 ticket. But I guess my mind didn't see it that way. I definitely had my moments where I would have a hot streak, I would win big, and I felt invincible and I felt cocky, and so I would play more because I wanted more money. I was very greedy. And what the lottery doesn't tell you is, yes, you are going to win eventually, but you also have to realize that you could also lose. So you might win, you might be on a hot streak for a little bit, but eventually you're going to get ticket after ticket after ticket, and you're going to lose each and every time. There's no set formula for these tickets. The odds are stacked against you. And I know a lot of people have a system, particularly for pick 3, pick 4, cash 5. The numbers are always going to come out. It just depends on what day and when you get them, day or night and all that. I tried pick 3. I never won, because I'd always miss it by one number, and I would get very frustrated with myself. I don't know what's going to come out. It's just something that's always eating at me. Nonetheless, in 2017 was definitely my peak. It was definitely the peak of my addiction. I was spending upwards of $150 to $200 every pay period on scratches. 5s, 10s, 20s. I would try the print and plays and lose. And it got bad. It got very bad. I would get these overdraft fees from my bank, and then I would hide them because I didn't want my folks to see to see the extent of where my problem was going. And I definitely prioritized playing these scratch tickets over my basic necessities like food and water. So whenever my primary funds would dry up, I would use my credit cards to obtain more money so I could play more scratches. And eventually, it all caught up with me because I had spent so much money into this habit that my credit cards were maxed out and I had nothing in my savings account. And then my checking account had overdrafted by like $300. And I happened to payday was coming up, so I managed to be in the black, but I started to realize, I really need to quit. So I thought I would have to go to my family for financial assistance, and they'd give me some money, and I tell them, hey, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna cut back. I was lying to them, and I was also lying to myself because I still kept playing. I wanted to recoup what I lost, and I was doing so in vain. I would say at the end of 2017, I spent $4,000 on scratchers. Money that could have easily gone to more important things like my bills, my debts that I've accumulated from being a dumbass. So, at the beginning of 2018, I had 2 maxed out credit cards, and I had a New Year's resolution that I was going to stop playing lottery. The first 3 weeks were one of the hardest of my life. I wanted to play so badly. I was going through withdrawal. Let's just say that. I was going through withdrawal. I was very, very sad, very depressed. I would stand in front of the lottery machine and I would touch the screen for it to come up, but I'd put no money inside. I would just talk to the machine like it were an old friend that I was saying goodbye to. And I'd say, hey, how are you doing? I can't, I can't do this anymore because you're bad for me. And I also called the problem gambling hotline, and I said, hey, I'm calling because I have a gambling problem, and I just I don't really want to go to I don't need any type of medication to help me stop. I just want you to check up on me every once in a while to make sure that I'm not messing up and that I'm not playing these tickets and pick threes, pick fours, catch fives, print and plays, Powerballs, and Mega Millions. So they would check up on me. After I completed the first month, things got much easier for me. I noticed that my bank account was not in the negative, and I actually managed to store up a small nest egg of a savings account So, in case a financial strain were to occur, I had something um, to help keep me by, and so I wouldn't have to ask family or or friends. Well, mainly family, just so I wouldn't have to ask my family for another what I would call an integrity loan. And trust me, I felt very ashamed and embarrassed, and I apologize to the people in my life that I went to and asked for assistance, because I was not being a very responsible adult. 1 month turned into 2 months, 2 months turned into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, a whole year. I was very, very proud of myself, and I would note my progress on my Facebook wall, and I would get a monumentous amount of support from my friends and family telling me, hey, you got this, you got this. It felt so great. And on top of that, I was actually allocating the money that I would typically use for playing these scratchers towards my credit card debt, because I had 2 maxed out credit cards. So I used this method. I don't know what it's called per se, but I attacked the card that had the least amount of debt on there. I tackled it like a hawk. I was I was sending 4 to 5 4 to 5 times the minimum payment to that card every month. Okay, until it was paid off, including interest. I finally paid the last of that card in October of 2018. $2,300 plus an additional $284 in interest. And now that car is paid off, I use it to get gasoline and get the 3% cash back on gas. And then every month I pay it down, and now it's 0. I still have one more card with a credit limit of $3,000, and I am planning to get that down to 0 before the year ends. But I have come a very long way since the beginning of 2018. I am 431 days removed from playing lottery scratchers, pick 3s, pick 4s, cash 5s, mega millions, print and plays, powerballs, everything. It is one of the best decisions that I've ever made in my life. And for those of you who are dealing with an addiction similar to mine, please understand that it can be conquered. It does take time. You yourself have to admit that you have this problem, because I know they say, you depend on people. They have, I would say there's not really one correct, absolute way to deal with it. For me, I just quit cold turkey. I never went to Gamblers Anonymous. I just quit because I knew I needed to change, to better my life, to better myself, my financial situation. And, yeah, man. So 431 days, which is well over 14 months. And I plan to not play any tickets this year, too. And I plan to reap the rewards of not succumbing to this addictive habit. Well, this video's gotten pretty long, so I'm going to end it here. Bonanza86, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.